So this week, we are going to talk about TikTok Psyop thirst traps.
Fuck, what?
Whoa! Let's dive in.
I have never heard a stranger combinations of words in a sentence.
Okay, so Psyop thirst traps. Before I get into the major players, I suppose,
God,
Okay.
I just have no idea what to expect from this.
What a great sentence.
I want to set up a little background because this has a lot to do with like the military-industrial complex.
What?
What is happening?
Paul, do you guys, first of all, do you know what a Psyop is?
Yes.
Okay, psychological operations, military psychological operations.
I know, but I thought Psyop was being used in like a
Hyperbolic kind of way.
yeah, hyperbolic.
It is being used in a very literal sense of the word.
Oh
my
my
God,
god, this
okay.
is even gnarlier than I thought initially. Okay.
The Army released a recruiting video recently, well, maybe
God, I can't believe
2
we're
or
talking
3 months ago.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
This is
Yeah,
ridiculous
so-
already. Okay.
So they released a recruiting video for its psychological operations career field, which feels weird because I thought the whole point of psychological operations was that you didn't know that they did
Yeah.
that.
But also, how normal is it and down to earth that they have to recruit for this regardless?
Yeah.
Like I love that it's like a job posting. For this.
Yeah, also like job creations. Like, can I look at the glass door for this? What's it like working at the Psyop division of
Totally.
the Army?
Yeah, so they put out this video that can best be described as a psychological thriller movie trailer made by a conspiracy theorist with a Cold War fascination.
Unbelievable.
The video kicks off with a quote from Sun Tzu's Art of War
Sure.
and cyclically transitions from footage of modern day cities, a forest, and a black and white cartoon to a 20th century conflicts and speeches all tied together under the concept of being, quote, a ghost.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's like a fan film that's like simping over the military, essentially.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It was published by the 4th Psychological Operations Group and caught the attention of warfare futurists on the internet and gives off a slightly creepy and surreal vibe. Its message, join Army Psyops to find, manipulate, and become the ghost. Oh, sorry, the ghost puppeteer pulling the world's strings. It's hard not to view the Psyops recruiting video itself as a bit of a Psyop itself, aimed at an overseas audience. So the whole thing is, again, this like meta nature of trying to convince the viewer to be this psyop, to do it's like a snake eating its own tail. Obviously, since the internet and even before, information warfare has been thrust to the forefront of strategic analysis and conversation surrounding the war in Ukraine, specifically, and more recently, with many experts hailing the efforts of the Ukrainian government's use of propaganda to garner international support and boost Ukrainian nationalism. So, does anybody remember, maybe shortly after the war in Ukraine started, the Ghost of Kiev?
Yeah,
I don't.
I do.
So it was a bunch of videos that were going around of this fighter jet, this fighter pilot, quote unquote, and the plane shooting down Russian helicopters and shit like that.
Yeah.
And all of the videos were saying, oh, it's the Ghost of Kiev. It was a supposed Ukrainian pilot notorious for shooting down Russian planes. The ghost quickly became an internet sensation, bolstered by official Ukrainian social media accounts, which is all well and good, but it should be noted that the pilot wasn't real. The Ghost of Kiev was totally fictitious and made up by the Ukrainian government
Okay.
and spread on social media as this psyop.
But the effect was felt.
Yes, it's new wave propaganda essentially.
Right.
Yeah. That's a great way to paraphrase it all.
And the militaries all over the world are leaning into, and I think there might be a quote in here that I have somewhere of like describing the internet as like the new battlefield for international wars.
Ooh.
It won't be physical wars. It will be this digital war.
Disinformation assaults.
It used to be leaflets and loudspeakers, like in the Cold War.
Dropping, like planes flying over and dropping leaflets over an entire battlefield.
Yeah, there were a bunch of instances of that shit happening in like World War II that were disinformation about Americans to trick whatever force it was to then use that information incorrectly against us.
Yep.
So yeah, it used to be stuff like that. Then it morphed into ISIS propagandists, Taliban Twitter bots, and spammers to now where war memes and influencers are the new norm.
What?
Wait, say that again. What's the new norm, Harlan? What's the new norm for life?
War memes and influencers are the new norm.
Okay. Oh my god.
Fucked up.
And on top of this, Army Psyops jobs are incredibly competitive. According to the Army, candidates have to score higher than 85 on the Defense Language Aptitude Battery Test, which is basically like the SATs for the military. Soldiers also must pass a 10-day selection course before they can begin in the 43-week official qualification course.
Ugh.
For comparison, normal recruits only have to score a 50. I also wanted to do this setup because more recently there has been actually some adjustments to the eligibility to join the not the Marines, but all military branches. The U.S. military in general is facing difficulties in recruiting amid low unemployment rates and competitive civil job markets, with employers offering increased wages and benefits for entry-level jobs. But in general, the Defense Department has reduced its planned total force size due to the struggle to fill the ranks, only meeting 40% of its goal in 2022.
I think that the thing there is nobody wants to fucking align with your dictatorship anymore. Nobody wants to align with these things and are standing up against these forces in protest, in peaceful times, in organizational ways, rather than just picking up a fucking gun, because nobody wants to do that shit. Like,
well, yeah, nobody wants to die. That's really what it comes down to. And I even saw something today where I think the Republican Party came out complaining about this exact thing. And the one reason that they cited is why millennials and Gen Z don't want to join the military. The very first talking point was they don't want to die.
The U.S. Army is trying to recover from its worst recruiting year in decades, and officials say those recruiting woes are the result of traditional hurdles. Young people don't want to die or get injured.
What's up with that?
Oh,
like,
no
why don't they
shit.
want to go overseas and get shot?
Good fucking god,
the
dude.
senator in his very fine $4,000 suit, who's never seen a hard-working day in his life.
JFK's famous quote is echoing through my mind right now.
Don't ask what you can do, what the country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country.
I can live.
Republicans in the back, die, motherfuckers.
Go to war for us. Fight for us.
Yeah.
Protect our freedoms.
Make me money.
I also saw today, it's so weird that these two things came up before doing this episode. A lot of mainstream media organizations are owned by like the corporations BlackRock and Vanguard. They don't want us to know certain things, and because they are major stakeholders in news, we don't get all of the story about what's happening overseas or even in our own country. Whereas on things like, and they're the same people that are trying to shut down things like TikTok. As bad and unreliable as TikTok can be, I've seen more news about specifically the Ohio train collision thing on TikTok than I've seen on any major news sites.
It's also like very apparent how quickly people can rally together. I mean, the K-pop Donald Trump rally things like that whole movement was a big wake-up call for old fogey Republicans, as like, oh fuck, Gen Z is not to be messed with, because this communication platform, this like interactivity is dangerous to them.
It makes collective action and solidarity happen overnight. Like, you don't need to go meet up necessarily anymore to do those
No need to send a
things.
telegraph anymore, bro. We got it.
Or 1,000 crows, like they used to have to do.
No leaflets. It just reaches me while I'm stoned in bed.
I've got the truth in my DMs, bro.
Yeah, slide into my
They
DMs
slid
with
right.
the truth.
The truth slid into my DMs last night.
And it was horny, dude. How does this all play into these cosplay commandos, as we will continue to call them?
This has been like, if a car on the road that was just jerking from one side to the other, I feel like that's where I'm at. I'm in the back seat of a car that is careening in multiple different directions with all of these
What
words.
are we even talking about? That's what I want to know. What are we even? I'm just like trying to keep up here.
We are talking about specifically a new breed of e-girls hosting
Cybernetically enhanced in a lab.
This is a fucking T1000. Like,
Yeah.
Yes, there is a new breed of e-girls who use their online presence to promote nationalism and the U.S. Army, hosting things like thirst traps with their assault
Why
rifles,
not?
or playing with
Of
remote control
course.
tanks, and performing makeup tutorials, all
Yes,
in military
that's-
fatigues.
That's the most on-brand thing. It's just like sitting there, like trying to look super hot. And like
in their
cute.
fucking APC.
Like, they've got like some fucking camo dress on while doing a fucking makeup tutorial.
but it's only camo. It's only fucking
It's all camo
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, yeah.
Camo blinds,
holding the thing up to the
camo drapes.
And it's stitched with that scene in Commando starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they're like doing
Hell
how to do
yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's Commando makeup tutorial. John. So the biggest one, and the one that I got some of her TikToks in my feed is from a user who goes by Lunchbag Lujan.
Okay, cool.
Her real name is Haley Lujan. She is an e-girl. Oh, I'm sorry. I have more details about the type of shit they post before I get into her. So I have another note that says, they use cutesy, unthreatening content to hide the realities of U.S. imperialism and promote hypersexualized militarism.
This is like K-pop for evil.
God.
is what it is.
Yeah, this is something that would be like a sketch 10 years ago on like SNL or something. Like it is that on the nose. Hey Lujan is an e-girl influencer who is a psychological operations specialist for the U.S. Army. She is legitimately a military personnel.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
She dresses in head-to-toe camo, but the sentiment is no different than the girl boss lifestyle preached by somebody like the
Hell yeah.
Kardashians or Sigma males flexing that grind set.
Hey.
It's the same shit.
If you click
So-
up here, you can watch our Sigma. Was that on YouTube?
Yeah.
It is. That's up there. Yeah.
Lujan, who is employed by the U.S. Army Psyop division, posts countless TikToks and memes that play into this. Her official website is called Psyops.
Are you fucking kidding
Okay.
me? Like, this is
So-
like hide in plain sight kind of shit. Like, isn't like psychological
Yeah.
warfare supposed to be like covert sort of thing? Like,
No, well, again, it's the internet has morphed it because all of the comments, all of the dudes are in her comments and probably her DMs just simping after her.
It's like reverse psychops.
yeah, exactly.
It's like I know what you're doing, but I like it anyways because I'm not. There's no way you're for real.
I can change her.
Yes, it's that, John. It's 100% exactly that. So she wears like full e-girl makeup with drawn on freckles and the rosy nose, the whole fucking shebang. She has 363,000 followers and has led to countless memes speculating that she is a post-ironic psyop to recruit people into the U.S. Army. This is a quote. "I'm not the American dream. I'm more like the American nightmare."
Oh my fucking god.
Edgy as fuck.
With hashtags like pew pew and hashtag military curves. She shares cutesy unboxing compilations.
Of what? A fucking AK? Like,
yeah, an ICBM. She does, like I said, makeup tutorials. She does get ready with me videos as well as lip syncs.
What's the get ready with me video? Is that like a?
You just set the video up and then you edit together. You getting dressed, doing
day,
your hair.
Day in the life of a psyop. Hey TikTok, come with me as we bomb Iraq again.
Come with me as I start my day in more U.S. imperialism on foreign soil. So she also, in one of her videos, urged her audience by saying, "Don't go to college, become a farmer or a soldier instead."
Farmer or a soldier? Those are the two options.
There's a farmers only crossover in there too, waiting to happen.
Well, I think the farmer thing is more a a reference to like the whole trad movement that's on the internet.
Don't know what that is.
Traditional values, weird. They're right-wing weirdos that want women to be barefoot and pregnant. And the whole farmer thing is a part of the trad community.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, dude. I mean, honestly, talking about it, that's probably the next TikTok thing I'm going to do as an episode because it is a deep, deep, deep dark well. Her online content is a mix of the cute, military-themed, promoting a false sense of security. She jokes about war bunkers and plays with remote-controlled tanks and things, which she overlays with sparkly filters and heart emojis.
Oh my god, this is surreal. This is like borderline performance art.
There's a big crossover with Mill Talk gunfluencers, which are a whole other fucking thing. They just...
Gunfluencers?
I don't like those words.
It's just like them fetishizing guns and shit and like posting military clips and stuff. But
Sure.
It's the same. It's those people are attracted to these, what did I call them? Commando cosplayers?
Cosplay commandos, yeah. You just did
thank
it.
you.
It was backwards, but you got it.
There's so many very nuanced and specific subcultures happening here, so it's hard to keep track. She is not the only cosplay commando, though. There are multiple other ones. Bailey Crespo and Kaylee Salinas are also e-girl influencers who use their online presence to promote nationalism and the army. Another bigger one, which maybe doesn't seem like it is like a military influencer, was Bella Porch. If you guys remember her, she was like an early TikToker that went
Bella Porch?
viral.
No.
She got a lot of shit because her video that went viral was her just like doing a fucking head bob lip sync thing with like the face tracker filter or whatever.
It's M to the B, it's M to the B, bang.
Run.
That's what launched her?
Yes, but she was formerly a part of the Navy.
Okay.
But that wasn't... So she got famous, just happened... Maybe, I don't know, again, it could have been a psyop all along. And she got famous...
Yeah, I'm sure all of them are not as upfront as this particular one that we're talking about is.
Yeah, Lunchbag
like,
Lujan.
hey guys,
yeah.
I work as a psyop, so if you want to follow me, smash and subscribe for more
Yeah.
psychological warfare.
Get psyoped.
So Bella Porch was an influencer who had served in the U.S. Navy for 4 years before going viral on TikTok in 2020. She's basically considered the blueprint for this kind of military-funded e-girl warfare.
I'm like ashamed that I'm surprised at this. I'm bummed that I'm so scandalized that this exists. Of course it does. Why the fuck would it not?
Did you say e-girl funded military warfare?
Military-funded e-girl warfare.
Oh, what the fuck? The opposite. Well, because I was like, wait, are e-girls directly funding?
That's where the majority of the fucking defense budget goes or comes from.
But now I'm even more
$6
confused.
trillion for the military budget this year, and over half of that goes to e-girls.
Yeah, I mean that's it. John, that's it.
That's
the
actually
military is funding these e-girls.
Because they want that promo.
Yeah.
Yes, to post this content because again, this type of content reaches young, impressionable men much easier and faster and is more effective than
Setting up a table at a middle school?
yeah, or even posting like, you know, fucking those really cringy US Army ads. Nobody pays attention to those. Like we all know what they're supposed to do, but you can blind a horny 18-year-old with some cleavage and some camo. Like that's all it really takes.
Just wrap it in a different package.
So there's also Natalia Fadiv, who is known as Gun Waifu, who was an Israeli influencer and IDF soldier who used the waifu aesthetic and catgirl cosplay to peddle pro-Israel propaganda to her followers.
This is all on TikTok?
TikTok, I think Gun Waifu was more an Instagram influencer.
Okay.
Guys, I don't want to be around anymore.
You know, it's one thing when you make the notes for your episode. It's another thing to read them out
Just say
loud.
it with your mouth out loud. Yeah. I know. I totally feel you.
I'm loving every bit of
There's
this.
been some times where I'm trying to read through something that I'm like well versed in, but saying it out loud for the first time is like fucking hilarious.
What am I saying even? So she would pose to camera, ahigao style, which I don't know if you guys know what that is.
No, I don't know what it is. Do you know? Can you describe it? Deep breath and then describe it.
So ahigao spelled A-H, where are my notes? A-H-E-G-A-O.
Okay.
Is a Japanese word to describe the look, the face a woman makes when she is climaxing. Where eyes are crossed. It's used a lot in anime.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And the tongue comes out the whole 9 yards.
I'm tempted to do it, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
So do not do that. Someone will clip it.
Yeah, and it'll be forever part of the pantheon of ahigao.
No one make ahigao.
Guys, I think we've had a pretty good run here, and I think like we did it. We covered the internet. We can close up shop. This is it.
I didn't know it had a name. I thought it was just anime art, like
anime cum face.
Do not come.
I didn't realize it was a term.
So she would do that with freshly manicured nails wrapped neatly around a Glock.
Okay.
This is essentially the uwuification of military as a distraction from colonial context.
And uwoozy. I love it. That is so good.
This military funded Negro warfare is a new era where influencers have become the newest weapon in the government's arsenal to mobilize simps.
Mobilizing simps imagery is like hilarious to me. Yes, my queen. I will march for you.
My Glock goddess.
I am tribute.
My military mommy.
Oh my god.
So, I didn't know that simp was.
I'm sorry.
Kyle's gonna pass out this episode.
Yeah.
This is just too good.
So I didn't know that simp was actually an acronym. It stands for suckers idolizing mediocre pussy.
I had no idea.
The popularity of army influencers suggests new ways in which online culture can be manipulated to sway Gen Z. Cosplay commandos post the nationalist thirst traps to mobilize these simps, attracting the sort of impressionable reply guys and 4chan lost boys who message, "Oh my god, DM me," fire emoji. So I didn't know what reply guys is pretty
Self-explanatory.
It's pretty self-explanatory. I didn't know what lost boys were. Apparently, it's a term used on website to describe young or homeless individuals who frequent the site and share their experiences and struggles with others. The term is used both sympathetically and derisively and can refer to real-life individuals or characters created by users for role-playing or storytelling. The U.S. Army has allocated millions of dollars last year alone to recruit Twitch influencers to create original content videos showing the wide range of skill sets offered by the Army. They would sanitize the harsh realities of U.S. imperialism with cute e-girlisms. It promotes the sort of hypersexualized militarism that frames violence as something cute, goofy, and unthreatening. More unsettling than any 20th century CIA covert ops, it hides in plain sight, capitalizing on online irony to lull people into a false sense of security with relatable content. Yeah. It's a subversion of the beefy special forces stereotypes in the mainstream.
Shut up! One more fucking word, you're gone. I'm not fucking around. Shut up, stop rolling your fucking eyes, stop asking for fucking electrolytes, and be a fucking man.
Or what we see even in like movies, and it only come from years of being terminally online. So again, that's another demographic of who this stuff is targeted at.
I feel like it's basically trying to go after incels in a way. Instead of being like the traditional, like what we grew up with was the Navy SEALs dropping into water and like crazy like action adventure advertisements, and it's a be all you could be, and like it's instead of having it be, oh, this is what you could be, it's being like, this is who we have, come and get them, kind of thing of like, they're here, don't you want to be?
Well, there's also a point to be made that a lot of those guys that live that type of lifestyle of like, they fucking have all the guns, they work out religiously, they have the big F-250. Why do they need to join the military when they feel like they could defend themselves with all of their militarized equipment that they can buy commercially? Like, why the fuck would I join? You know what I mean? Like, and it also feels like going after like these young impressionable kids, they're just looking for cannon fodder. They literally just want grunts to send somewhere. The more numbers, just overwhelm them with numbers.
Whew. That's bleak, though.
It's not that the U.S. Army is actively funneling. Again, this is where the trad ideology shit comes from. That they're actively funneling that ideology through these influencers, but posting hot girl content is mutually beneficial. Considering how enlisted rates among Gen Z have plummeted, unofficial pro-military content like Lujan's undeniably plays into the U.S. Army's motives. This also then brought me into the military entertainment complex, which is also its own fucking thing. The U.S. Army collaborating with Hollywood. They provide equipment, funding to promote patriotic war cinemas. We already fucking mentioned the Top Gun sequel, but like the movies like fucking Transformers, basically any Michael Bay movie, he's working hand in hand with the military to generate this type of content.
Why is this man given so much power? I want to know.
Because he blows shit up and makes the military looks badass, dude. Also, that he puts a lot of titties in his movies as well.
Totally. What about Pacific Rim, though? Who did that?
That's Guillermo del Toro.
Okay, is he involved with the U.S. military? That's what I want to know.
None of that exists. That was all CGI.
Totally. I mean,
to my knowledge.
Are we sure though? I don't know. But my thing is like, is it just Michael Bay, or is there other people that are?
A shitload of other directors and studios
on this too. Like,
yes, 100%. Yeah.
Anybody that's ever done a military movie.
I want to get in a military deal. How do I do that?
Well, Kyle, I don't know if you've been listening, but there may be some opportunities for you.
I'm going to become an e-boy.
I don't know that the e-boy angle works so well if you're trying to attract... I don't know. Maybe, but...
No, I mean, if I do good enough, maybe I'll get a pat on the head from Uncle Sam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can go apply to the Psyop.
It seems like they're hiring.
We need more simps for this show. Then maybe you can branch out.
Yeah, I want people to immortalize our mediocre pussy.
Well, it would be penis, right?
Mediocre penis, right.
Yeah, it works for both.
Wink, wink.
Like I said, there's overlap with that and this e-girl content that's being made. And it gets the same sort of criticism that this military entertainment complex does. I found an article from 2011 from the Washington Post journalist David Sirota, who questioned if the strategy was not unconstitutional since the DoD directly influences these types of media. Like with movies, it's literally the script that the U.S. appears as the good guy, as the savior, in basically all of them. We never are bad. We never do anything wrong in these movies. It's a similar thing with these e-girls. It's like, how manipulative is this? It's like not displaying that your video is an ad and getting like the FTC called on you for that shit.
Yeah.
It feels like...
What I'm curious about is what are the conversion rates of this? Like, if I'm going to be like analytical about this and like ask like, okay, so yes, they're posting hot girl shit, but like who sees that and then's like, I'm going to sign up for the army?
They're all most likely not going to ever give us that information, but judging on the amount of money they dump into these e-girls, I'm saying it's somewhat effective at the very minimum. Like it's
Yeah.
millions of dollars that they have dumped into these programs.
Or no, stay with me here.
Okay, or
Somewhat money laundering.
that also could potentially be part of it. Where are those tax dollars? Where's the fucking money, Lebowski? The popularity of army influencers suggests new ways in which online culture can be manipulated to sway Gen Z. Last year, it was reported that the US Army allocated millions of dollars to recruit the Twitch influencers I mentioned. They used the influencers to, quote, familiarize their fans on Army values and opportunities by focusing on esports such as Call of Duty. So again, it's also video game streamers and things like that they are telling us they're paying them to do this. I have some information from David Noel, an internet researcher and former Army veteran, who says, quote, the targeted attempt by the U.S. Army specifically to recruit Gen Z has led to several online gaffes, but social media remains one of the most powerful recruitment tools. The open secret nature of these influencers is part of the intrigue. Other militaries use e-girl influencers who deny any official connection, whereas someone like Lunchbag Lujan capitalizes on the speculation. While people debate what's real and what's fake, the real Psyop is the normalization of military recruitment through social media. E-girl army influencers undermine the reality and history of the U.S. military while changing our conception of what it means to be a soldier. So...
if the conception of what is being a soldier is makeup tutorials and getting ready with me videos, then I feel like we're ready.
I'm ready for war, baby. Let's go.
Sign me up.
I'm ready for it.
I'll do my makeup in a Humvee.
Boots on the ground, dude. I'm ready to do my makeup in the Uber on the way to my convention.
And I think, again, why this is potentially so effective is because of the decades, or I mean fucking hundreds of years of the public seeing the aftermath and the mobilization of the military. And like, we all have a good idea that war is hell. Like, we get that. So we have that sort of as the foundation. To see this played out in a completely different context is what makes it more palatable, maybe? Like, even knowing that, like, you know, you might get fucking killed over there or permanently disfigured, they're selling it to us differently than what has been before. Like, it almost like wipes that slate clean in a way. It's
weird.
It's a weird thing to
like
wrap
this,
my head
it's
around.
like this, I trust this e-girl so much that I'll be safe and be fighting for glory.
Could you imagine a Full Metal Jacket remake with this information?
I am imagining it now.
It's awesome. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
It's much funnier
Racier
than
too.
the
It's kind
original.
of like if you mixed that with Porky's.
Oh, I was gonna say Mean Girls. It feels more like Mean Girls meets Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Mean Girls.
On Wednesdays, we wear Arctic camo.
This is what's known as non-linear warfare. Influencers play into our notion of what's real by providing the illusion of debate while remaining in total control of the narrative. I have another quote here from Christiana Spence. By making people doubt what is real, are these girls actually in the army? Are the stunts real? Are their faces real? Is the war real? They just add to an overall confusion and dissociation and can lead to desensitization. There is this wider doubt of reality and a communal sense of chaos and unreality, so it follows that internet culture would play into that and discuss it and perpetuate it.
This is the weight of the consequence of the internet. Like, that these spaces exist in general is because this wouldn't be possible without the internet.
So this confusion allows the government further scope to exercise control over its subjects. As internet researcher Jack Ritger says, quote, under Psyop realism, everything is a Psyop and everyone is a Fed.
No truer words have been spoken.
Hell yeah. That's like ultimate paranoia. I love it.
Yeah. So nothing is real. Everything is a lie.
Everyone's a Fed. It's so good.
So a lot of this plays into this like post-capitalist society that we currently live in, and this is how we'll sort of end this episode. The surging popularity of the MilTalk influencers that I described earlier is a symptom of post-capitalism. The rising cost of living, plummeting living conditions, and increasing number of young people turn to vocational jobs for stability. Ritger pointed out, even McDonald's will send you to college after a couple of years of enlistment. Military-funded e-girl warfare is the latest symptom of a society run threadbare by neoliberalism, and it's no far stretch to imagine more weird crossovers like this as conditions worsen.
Can't wait. Let's go. More fucking material for us.
It reminds me, you guys know that guy, the DJ Girl Talk?
Yeah.
Where he just takes every different genre and mashes them together. They're actually pretty cool to listen to sometimes. But if you listen to too much of them, your head fucking explodes. And it feels like this. How many different niche communities can we fucking jam together and make work before we all collectively lose our minds and the internet, again, folds in on itself?
The end result will be all enlist in the military. That's the that's the end goal here.
Yeah.
And do makeup tutorials.
In a future where we're all forced into the military just to make each other's makeup.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that wars would be decided on who is the fiercest.
Ooh, the fiercest warriors.
Wait, I think we just invented RuPaul's Drag Race on accident.
But it's like RuPaul.
Well, on accident or on purpose.
RuPaul's Desert Storm. I'm like imagining a bunch of people out in like tents in the desert with like ring lights in their tents.
Yeah.
Doing makeup.
Streaming so hard.
I did not know this was gonna be. I had no idea this was gonna hit me this week, and here it is.
Here it is. And until next time, good luck out there, you cosplay commando e-girl simps.
And everyone wanted to know which president was the true throat goat. And
Okay, I do remember this.
And they are all some sort of eldritch monsters of yore, right? She was also selling videos of her farting in the jar.
I hate this so much. I hate everything about this.
yeah.
Security Starboard.